Hello, Jen here. And in a very recent video, in fact, I actually recorded it the same day I'm recording this one, but I'm posting it. Anyway, in a recent video, I did my version that I was doing in that moment of loving kindness meditation, a metta meditation, Pali word for kindness, loving kindness, compassion. And I wanted and want, and so I'm doing it, making one specifically for trans people. Of course, this can be applied to anyone, really, in general, but some of it not. Anyway, I'm a trans woman. I am a trans woman with a hairy face. I didn't shave today, and I don't give a fuck. I haven't feminized my voice. Whatever. There are gatekeepers in the trans community who don't think I'm trans enough, and all that bullshit. And I'm saying that because the things I'm about to say in this meditation, there are times in my trans journey over these last 5 years I would never fucking say what I'm about to say. And if you're in that place, once you hear what I'm saying and what I say, if you're like, fuck that shit, well then turn this video off and write a nasty comment. Get it out of your system. It's okay. I don't feel like this every day. I mean, sort of the settled peace I feel in this moment. There are days when I feel angry enough to like, I ain't doing this. So this isn't about feeling. This isn't about judgment of yourself. There's no goal. There's nowhere to get for this meditation. Hello, I just need to get more comfy. I hope I'm still in the frame. I don't know. Yeah, this could be a very triggering meditation in the sense that as I say this to myself and to you listening, watching, I'm going to address the haters. And I'm going to address them in a way that today I feel is okay in this moment, and tomorrow I wouldn't. And I'm not going to judge myself for that. And please don't judge yourself for, no matter how you feel about the words I'm going to say. I'm going to address my body. I can't get comfy on my futon. I'm going to address my body before I knew I was trans, am trans. I'm going to address my former name, my gender assigned at birth, and that could be very triggery for some. I mean, not because it's me, but in terms of your own story. I have held, sorry, Mr. Snuffleupagus just fell down. I have held, and I'm grateful for this, this is just Jen's story. I have held a fairly loving, I don't know, gratitude for Joseph, who I thought I was, for 45 frickin' years. I feel like he kept me safe in a very dangerous environment. So, anyway, in my mind, I can sort of separate my dysphoria about the particular body and the sort of spirit of that being of my inner self that kept me safe as a trans woman. So anyway, I'm saying all that to say, if you get triggered, turn it off. Find a friend, talk with them. If you watch this video and listen to this video, you are accepting full responsibility for doing so. I'm going to address my genitals and genitals in general. I'm a trans woman. I don't have the trans man experience. And I'm also going to, but in addition to that, despite of that, I'm going to make the language inclusive to trans masculine, trans feminine, whatever that means. So yeah, there's things I want to say and I want to make sure I remember. So I wrote them down. You can't see my cheat sheet, but it's right there. Um, so when I say in this meditation to all the haters and enemies, I send loving kindness. If that's too much, totally legit. I've had death threats. I've been harassed on the streets. I've been harassed in bathrooms. I have relatives, close family that really don't want me in their lives anymore. I've been unemployed for fucking 4 years. I have a job right now and I'm really happy about that, part-time receptionist. But I've been discriminated against. I've been hated. I've had hate mail. I've had hate messages. And I know what it's like to be marginalized. I know what it's like to walk out of my door and be terrified. I know what it's like to not walk out my door because I'm too terrified. So if you don't want to say what I'm about to say, don't say it. Or maybe you can think of one person in particular. Someone who's not, like they misgender you now and then, but they're trying, but it still annoys the fuck out of you. Then maybe just include them. If there's someone in your life who really doesn't get you and doesn't want to get you and has a holy book that they bang on your head, because that's of course what God would do to one of his own creations, whatever the hell that means, then maybe just address them in a gentle way. And if you can't, if when I get to the enemy part, turn off the video and fast forward it and just don't say it. I'm not doing this because I owe any of the haters and the fuckheads compassion. I don't owe my perps any forgiveness. That's not what this is about. It's about Jenn. I walk around in this world with a lot of self-hatred and a lot of dysphoria. A lot of days. Some days, it's not so bad. But I have self-hate thoughts and self-harm thoughts pretty much every day. And thank goodness, thanks to meds and therapy and community and all that jazz, my own spiritual life, I don't act on those thoughts much. And it's practices like these that actually help me not act on them. So, it's not about forgiving anyone. It's not about showing compassion in a way that feels disingenuous or like I just ain't doing that. I, in my old age, am making a slight pivot towards not carrying hatred, resentment, not because they're not valid, but because Jenn feels uncomfortable the more I carry. Just kind of hurts. And then I end up thinking about him and, thinking about him, falling off cliffs and stuff. So, it's about me easing my mind and my heart. It's just trying to pivot and focus more on the people I do love and the people that do love and accept me. And the days I feel extra dysphoric or the days I feel like I just am gorgeous as hell. I want to carry more of those good feelings. I love serotonin. And so this helps me. I also personally believe that the world needs more compassion, more listening, more dialogue, more angry dialogue, more marching in the streets, that kind of shit. And in my personal experience, the more I can dialogue with people, even the haters I've had. Anyway, that's just how Jenn does. And as a fucking long preface to the fact that there's going to be a little part of this meditation where I address enemies and shit. Most of it's going to be about addressing my body and being trans, my quote-unquote dead name. I don't like that word for me. I just need more peace, and that's why I do this. So yeah, feel free to watch, feel free to listen. In a traditional loving kindness meditation, a traditional metta meditation, You start with yourself and then go out into the universe. Not because you got to feel love and compassion for yourself before you can feel it for other people. That's bullshit. That's not what this is about. Just about having a focal point, a beginning point, and then expanding out. So feel free to repeat what I say. Feel free to snicker or say, fuck you, Jen, at what I say. Feel free to change it and adapt it. This helps empower me and makes me feel better. And even when it doesn't make me feel better, in my case, it's good for me to have the discipline. Because being bipolar and PTSD and all the things I've been diagnosed with, the more I'm undisciplined, the harder it is for me to function in the world. Yeah, I think you get the idea. This is, I'm going to start with an accoutrement with one of my lovely friends singing bowls. You don't have to do that. You don't have to get all fancy and fuck. You can do this walking down the street. You can do it on the subway, on the train, walking through the woods, walking wherever. Don't have, you can, quiet, Jen. I lost my page. Excuse me. Fall down and walk. Oh, there we go. I encourage you to take some deep breaths and get here. And if your mind wanders, let it go. It's not about fighting your thoughts or judging. In this moment, I send loving kindness to me. To me, when everyone around me and myself thought I was Joseph. And, boy, I send loving kindness to myself back then. I send loving kindness to the heartache and difficulties growing up, not knowing who I was. I send loving kindness. I send loving kindness to the time when I figured out I'm trans but was too afraid to say. Send loving kindness. To my body as it is in this moment, I send loving kindness. To my genitals, however they were, however they are, however I want them to be, or not want them to be, I send loving kindness. To wanting to tuck, to needing to tuck, to wanting top surgery and bottom surgeries, to need or want binders or not, to shave or not shave, to be as femme or as masculine or as fuck all of that. I send loving kindness to all of that, to those thoughts, those feelings, those sadnesses, those joys and victories. To where I am in my transition and to where I'm not in my transition. I send loving kindness. To my impatience at where I'm not on my transition journey, I send loving kindness. To any part of my body I don't want or don't like, I send loving kindness. To the parts of my body I do like, I send loving kindness. To my family, my allies, the family part that really loves and adores and accepts me, and my allies, and my trans community, and the queer community, to all those people who I count as friends and people who love and honor me, I send loving kindness. To the people in my family or community or in the world that hate me, that think I'm a sinner, which I am, but that's okay. To all the haters I send in this moment loving kindness. To the people who misgender me and genuinely, honestly feel bad and don't want to do it, and they're trying not to, they really love me and they're trying not to, I send loving kindness. To the fuckheads who misgender me just because they're assholes, in this moment I'm able to send them loving kindness, and if I'm not, tomorrow, fuck them. To my journey onward, whatever that looks like. But my journey onward that I try to infuse with hope and wonder and gratitude and adventure and fun, even though it can be so hard and heavy. I send loving kindness. I send loving kindness to the world, to this earth, to all creatures flying and swimming, all of nature, every tree, every flower, every insect, every garden, every rock, every river, ocean, everything, every tree. I may have said that already, but trees, there's lots of them, so I'll say it again. Trees. It's okay to laugh during meditation practices, by the way. To everything, I send loving kindness. To anyone suffering, including me, I send loving kindness. To my enemies, both outer and inner, I send loving kindness. To the universe, the ever-blossoming, expanding, blooming universe, every star, every black hole, every whirling galaxy, every planet, sun, and moon, I send loving kindness. Well, I hope you found that helpful. And if you found it hard, that's okay too. If you never do it again, that's okay too. If you do it once again, and then never do it again, that's okay. If you do it every fucking day, it's okay too. Anyway, that's a loving kindness meditation for trans folk like myself. And yeah, that kind of practice, that kind of meditative practice helps me. And so I wanted to share it with you. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, jenniferangelinapetro at gmail.com. I'll also put the email at the end of the video, which is coming up soon. Yeah. Hey, trans folks watching this video, you are fucking amazing. Whoever else is watching this video, I love you too. Why do I feel the need to do that? This fucking video is for trans people, god damn it. Trans people, you're fucking amazing and I love you.